The collapse of the narcissist. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So first of all, what is a collapse? It's when something falls apart unexpectedly. It's when something that was built falls apart. It can no longer be sustained. You can't act like it isn't crumbling down all around you. You already know what the narcissist is. They are a parasite. They're a person who is looking to take from anybody who would give them the time of day. Now, the collapse of the narcissist, this is a big, big instrumental part of your learning, of your journey, understanding that the narcissist has collapsed way before you met them. They're probably or possibly collapsing right now. Yes, right now, and I'll prove that to you. And they will collapse for the rest of their life, intermittently, but they never want people to know about these collapses. The instrumental, pivotal part, the collapse of the narcissist, it will take place when this happens. When you, yes you, break the trauma bond. When you, yes you, go no contact. When you break the four ties, the emotional, the financial, the physical, and yes, the spiritual tie from the narcissist. When you become indifferent, when you reach the pinnacle of indifference, when you reach the mountaintop of indifference, when the narcissist doesn't matter to you any longer, when they can't steal your energy, when although they are still trying to destroy relationships that you still are a part of, and they can't destroy those, they're trying to fracture them, but they can't do the damage, or you can see the damage being done and you know that there is not as much you can do about that as you would like to do. When you realize those things and you conserve your energy for yourself, this is a good thing for you. Now, right there a moment ago, I touched on something that many people have concerns with. Many people, and this is what it is. And this isn't the focus of the video, but I need to address this. Many people know who the narcissist is now, and many people know what's going to happen to their adult children, or to the new supply, or to other people that or to their friends, or that the narcissist is still communicating with. There isn't anything you can do to save those people. I know it's a tough pill to swallow, and let's say that you have kids and you would love to save your kids. I would too, but there comes a point in time when you realize that the narcissist will continue to smear you. They will continue to try to drive a wedge between you and anything that mattered to you. They will try to love bomb the adult children that you have, as an example, or the friends that you had, keyword is had, and they will try to lather all those people up into believing their false narrative. Remember, this is what you did. You fell for the mask. You believed in the words of the narcissist. You were believing in their charm. You were believing that what they told you was the truth. Well, when it all fell apart, essentially your relationship with them collapsed. You were left for dead. You were left reeling. You didn't know what narcissism was. You were in disbelief, shocked, if you will, because this is what the narcissist does. And when they discard people, they really want to shock them to their core, hoping that these people won't exist. Sorry, tough pill to swallow, but it's real. But when that happened, you figured out what narcissism was. You found the needle in a haystack. You began to rebuild. You began to refocus. You began to conserve your energy. You began to see the world the way it really is, not the way you wanted to see it, and not the way the narcissist was portraying it to you. As you began to heal, you became stronger. As you got stronger, to you, the narcissist became weaker. As the narcissist became weaker, they meant less and less to you, and eventually you healed and you reached at that pinnacle, the mountaintop of indifference, where I am standing right now, giving you a virtual hug or lifting my arms down to lift you up to where I am, and so many other people have arrived at over the years. But you are you. Flipping it back to your adult kids or your friends or whoever it is, maybe your siblings, and the narcissist is still selling them a bill of goods, telling them how bad you are, or maybe love bombing them in a different way. And love bomb doesn't mean intimacy. It just means giving fake attention or fake adoration or fake caring. It's essentially misdirecting somebody to have somebody put their guard down so the narcissist can inject the venom in their veins. Yes, I'm talking a lot, and of course, no, there's no script. Having said that, what happens is when other people are consuming the narcissist narrative, the negative narrative, they're on their own journey. I know it's very difficult and challenging to understand this, but you can't save anybody but yourself. Again, you probably will do anything for your kids. You probably will do anything for people that you love and care about. Yeah, I would do the exact same thing. But when it comes to narcissism, even though you can see the train headed for collision, with the narcissist, with people that you care about or love or other people, there really isn't much you can do about that. Now, you can talk to the people and you can say, hey, you know, stay away from ABC because this person is toxic and this person is not good and they discarded me, etc. I'm not saying to not do that. What I'm saying is everybody is going to figure out who the narcissist is eventually in time. You figured it out when you did, other people will figure it out when they do, but not everyone figures it out. So having said that, the collapse of the narcissist, this will continue to take place more and more and more through their life. Because as the narcissist becomes older, they become what is known as the aging narcissist. Not only is the aging narcissist not a pretty sight to see, but the aging narcissist is losing a grip on reality. They're losing a grip on their false narrative. They're losing a grip on what they told anybody in the past, and they're getting sloppy. They're getting really, really careless and sloppy, thinking that what they did in the past will serve them in the future. That's not the way it works. Remember, I shared with you earlier, not necessarily in this video, but in other videos, that the narcissist is a shapeshifter, and they're continually shifting shapes and shifting narrative and stories and people in and out of their lives throughout their whole experience on this planet called Earth. Well, when those experiences and people and false narratives and lies and untruths are too hard to keep track of, they fumble through life. They don't know what they said. They will claim that they didn't say it, that which is gaslighting. They will claim that they never told you A, B, and C when they were future faking. This is why whenever you're talking to the narcissist or you were talking to them, you were getting nowhere. You were not being respected. You were not being treated properly. You were spinning your wheels and giving your energy and your time and all of your resources, i.e. supply, to a bottomless pit, which was the narcissist. That's why you need to get as far away from these people as fast as you possibly can. So why the collapse of the narcissist will take place? It's when people aren't giving them the time of day. It's when people are going no contact. It's when people are actually seeing the truth. Because let's say you were discarded by the narcissist and now 5-6 years has gone by and the narcissist has been remarried for the third or fourth time and they discarded those other people, and now the narcissist's old friends, wink wink, are seeing that it wasn't you, it was the narcissist. If they're on husband or wife number 3, 4, 5, and no, not everyone that gets married multiple times is a narcissist, but if they are doing that, and now they're the friends of the narcissist, your old friends who weeded themselves out because they were drinking the Kool-Aid from the narcissist, when those people realize that, wait, you are a good person, they picked the wrong side, they never even heard your story, and they were listening to the false rhetoric and the false narrative of the narcissist, then they will say, oh my gosh, I can't believe it, they got me too. Well, that's what the narcissist does. See, the narcissist gets anyone. Until when? Until they don't. And when they don't get you or they can't get to you, it's when you've finally gotten off the radar of these people, gone no contact and blocked them, deleted them, removed them, and all flying monkeys and people associated with them. Now, if you can't do that today, I understand that. Utilize Gray Rock. Do not overshare information. Get ready to create, develop, and execute your exit plan. But eventually, you'll have to remove the proximity and the space that the narcissist was consuming in your mind, with your money, with your relationships, with your health, with your hopes, dreams, aspirations, goals, and so much more. And so the collapse of the narcissist will take place here. This is really a very pivotal, and this video is chock full with wisdom, but this part's a pivotal part, and it's the main part of the thumbnail, which is this. The collapse of the narcissist will take place when not when they discard you, because when they discard you, they're feeling on top of the world. They feel like they're invincible, and they're getting supply from your demise. And usually what happens with people, and I am not one of those people, and you are not either because you made it this far in the video, but usually what happens or happened in the past with people is they would stay stuck blaming themselves. They would stay stuck pining for the narcissist. They would be thinking, what happened? Why didn't they stay in it longer? Why didn't they just bite their tongue or hold their breath? Or why didn't they just do whatever the narcissist wanted? That is a long time ago. That's the old days. The new days, the days of abundance and growth and self-purpose are here. They're here right now in 2026. For me, truth be told, they arrived 5 years ago, but I'm talking about right now. So the collapse of the narcissist will be when you finally don't give them a time of day, when you finally aren't hearing their name, when you finally aren't using their name, when you aren't receiving texts from them because you block them, when you are not answering bogus emails from bogus email accounts because they're still trying to zap your energy that way, when you don't accept a Hoover, remember you need to become unhooverable, when you have healed and left that toxic parasitical creature in the past, that will create a massive narcissistic injury to the narcissist. And this has happened way more than you would ever know. It's just that you never were privileged to what would happen in the narcissist's life because they never told you what was really going on. They were wearing a mask and showing you whatever they wanted to show you at any given time. But what has happened with you is you've done something that few people will ever do. You are what I call the generational curse breaker. You are what I call the beautiful, bright, shining light. You're what I call a strong, resilient person full of fortitude, direction, purpose, and trajectory, getting away from the narcissist. You are what I call a person who has either healed or who is healing, and you're leaving the narcissist and all that toxicity in the past. You are taking the lifelong learning lessons from the past. You are not predicting the future. You are living in the present moment, and in the present moment is where the abundance takes place. This is where you can take a class, teach a class, read a book, write a book, travel the world, fall in love again, sleep until 12, stay up till 3 a.m. You can do whatever you want to on your timeline, and you will be able to do this after you've healed or as you are really healing, and you realize that, yeah, the narcissist did what they did. They did it deliberately, intentionally, and on purpose. They had done it before, but all the other people that were trapped in the cycle, either with you or before you, most of those people never figured it out. And most of those people have never done the work that you're doing. You need to really understand how strong you are. And this is coming from me, a person who put himself back together against all odds, left for dead during a pandemic 2 days before what was my favorite holiday, against all odds. Yeah, I put myself back together. And I can help you too. You need to understand that I believe in you the way you need to believe in yourself. And you need to understand that if I did it, you can do it. You can do anything you put your mind to. Now, one more thing before I get ready to close the video. I don't wish ill will upon anybody. I'm not going to start now. I don't wish ill will upon one person. The narcissist receives or experiences injuries because of their behaviors, because of their patterns, because of their mannerisms, because of what they do. It all comes back. There's a boomerang effect that comes back to haunt the narcissist over and over and over again. And what is the narcissist doing? They're trying to avoid that boomerang coming back and smacking them right with a big dose of reality as to that they're not the most handsome, they're not the most beautiful, they're certainly not the most intelligent, they are the most unoriginal. What the narcissist does is they mimic, they copy, they steal, they replicate. There's no authenticity to them. There's no originality to them. And they sold you a bill of goods, and they sold you right down the line to a place called Destructionsville, hoping you would never live to tell tales about the truth. Well, you did. You're out of it. You're healing, or you've healed. And that, again, is why I create videos each and every day to help people out that don't even know that they need help, that don't even know what narcissism is. At one point, that's who I was. I didn't know what narcissism is. If I did, I would have run for the hills. I would have said thank you, but no thank you. There are 8.3 billion people on the planet. I don't need to fall in a toxic, parasitical relationship with someone who's going to try and destroy my life from the inside out. But I didn't know. Neither did you. That's why the collapse of the narcissist, it's inevitable. But it won't just be one collapse. It will be hundreds of collapses. The narcissist experiences many collapses in the day. Watch this. They go to the coffee shop. They order 2 creams and 1 sugar. Well, what do they get? 2 sugars and 1 cream. So now what do? Go back in line and bark at the barista for 30 minutes, try to get a free cup of coffee out of it, steal everyone's energy in the coffee shop, and complain and blow up that person's day. Now that person doesn't want to work there any longer, or they're fearing the narcissist will go back in. And what does the narcissist do? Walk out with 2 cups of coffee the way they exactly want them, look at everybody and say, you people, I can't believe you didn't see what I saw. And what do? They consume people's energy, and those people that were in the coffee shop go to their work or wherever they are, and they say, I can't believe what happened in the coffee shop today. Well, what do you think just happened there, people? Right, a narcissist just tried to disrupt everyone's energy. These people are everywhere. I'm talking about the narcissist, and they know it. So this is an example of one collapse. When the narcissist doesn't get what they want, 2 sugars or 1 milk, whatever it is. That's a different example. And other examples are when somebody texts the narcissist, and or when the narcissist texts somebody and that person doesn't respond to them. Well, what can the narcissist not handle other than the truth? Okay, yeah, reality, they can't handle that either. What else can they can't handle? Not being important. So if the narcissist texts somebody and that person doesn't get back to them, there is a narcissistic injury. And you may say it's not. It is. It's just not the magnitude of you healing. When you heal, that's the mother load of narcissistic injuries for the narcissist. I will say it again, then I'm closing this video. I don't wish ill will upon anybody. I won't start now. I'm saying when you heal, you improve your life. When you heal, the narcissist will be in disbelief. When you heal and go no contact, the narcissist will not understand how you did it, how you rose through the ashes and dusted yourself off by the bootstraps and picked yourself up and put yourself back together against insurmountable odds. How did you do that? They won't get it. Why they won't get it? It's because these people are cocky, they're arrogant, they are selfish, they're entitled, they're hollow, they're shallow, they're pitiful, they're disgraceful, and they are riddled with anxiety, and they will be in disbelief when they figure out that you've healed. Now you may say, well, that's great, Andrew, and I believe all that. Well, it's true. On top of that, how would they know you've healed? Well, how they would know is because they still enlist flying monkeys and enablers and people that have nothing better to do than to do the bidding of the narcissist, to be spying on you. So if you think right now you don't have people that are still watching you or checking up on you, whether they're through bogus accounts, your neighbors, your friends' friends, or people at the gym, or people in your building, or people at the Christmas event, or in your office, you would be mistaken. The narcissist is everywhere, and they have people doing things for them 24/7. So when the word gets back on the street through the grapevine of flying monkeys that you've healed, you look like $1 million, you're clear, your money's returned, you've fallen back in love again, you've rebuilt from scratch, and you didn't do it with any help of anybody other than yourself, the narcissist won't believe it. They will say in their tiny little brain, wait, I thought I finished that one off. There was no chance they made it. How did they do that? I don't get it. What? And now they're looking great. Now they sound incredible. Now they've rebuilt. Now they live in a different time zone. Now they're remarried. What happened? Well, what happened is people get the wisdom. People apply the wisdom. People eventually realize that the narcissist was the worst thing that had ever happened to them in their life. However, they had to experience that relationship to get to where they are. And that's the mountaintop, the pinnacle of indifference. Now, I just unpacked a whole bunch of wisdom for you. In a nutshell, I will say it this way. The collapse of the narcissist, it's happening today. You may not believe it, but it is happening today. And I will prove it to you right now. As you are healing and watching this video and getting stronger, that is taking energy or a connection that was tied with you and the parasite. It's removing more energy from you to them. You're getting stronger. As you get stronger, they get weaker. As they get weaker, that does affect them. We are all connected on this planet. Why do you think I suggest so strongly that people cut the 4 ties? The emotional tie, the financial tie, the physical tie, and the spiritual tie, which I can talk about for 30 hours straight. No problem. All I would need is a little bit of water and maybe someplace to sit for a couple minutes. Understand what I'm sharing with you. The collapse of the narcissist, it's already happened. It's happening as you're healing. It will continue to happen throughout their life. They just don't want people to know about it. That's why the narcissist manipulates so many people, so they can avoid the truth, avoid reality, and avoid the damage they've inflicted upon others. So everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning, no matter where you are on the planet. You are not alone. I love you all, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Couple things real quick. One, the collapse of the narcissist. It's happening. It's been happening long before you met them. It was happening when you were with them, but now it will really happen exponentially as you heal and once you do heal. Because this person who at one point you fell in love with or loved or cared about deeply, they took the best of you, they gobbled it up, chewed it up, spit it out, threw it away in the freeway, thinking you would never heal or put yourself back together, but you did it against all odds. That will create a huge, huge dose of reality for the narcissist, which in their tiny little pea brain equals a narcissistic injury. So by you healing, you get stronger, and this will do nothing but punish the narcissist for what they did to you and to so many other people. I love you all. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Enjoy yourselves. Bye.